Good afternoon. My name is Mark Belache. I'm president of TorontoJobs.ca. I've been in the recruiting business for 25 years now. I am going to do this short webinar today. We do this every day at 12 o'clock, every weekday at 12 o'clock Toronto time, and just sharing some tips and just some information about what you can do, what we can do to help you out in terms of your job search, and share with you some ideas. And just relying on my experience from the 25 years of business that I've been doing this for. So hopefully you can get something helpful with this, and I wanted to share some tips with you. So we started the Facebook Live segment about a week ago, and I've been doing it every day, and having more and more people join in every day, which is great. And then obviously it sets up later on with it saves it up on our Facebook page as well, so you can check it out there, and then we upload it to our LinkedIn page as well. So thanks very much for coming to the session today. So today's topic is the importance of your LinkedIn profile, and just going to talk about the benefits and how to do. And just wrap up with some questions if anybody has any questions as well. I'm actually broadcasting on both Facebook Live and Instagram right now. So thanks very much for joining. Again, if you just joined, my name is Mark Belache. I'm president of TorontoJobs.ca. So some of the benefits of hooking up on LinkedIn is connecting with people, growing your network. You never know who's going to look at your profile. There's a lot of times when myself or other recruiters, what we will do is we will go on to check out somebody's profile, see somebody there, and we connect with that person without even that person knowing that that's how we found them. So really important to make yourself available. You can connect with people through LinkedIn. You can join groups and so on. But recruiters are all over that right now. They're using LinkedIn as the tool, and it is the game that people are in, especially in the recruiting side. You'll also hear about passive jobs too by doing so. So another opportunity there. And so here are some tips on how to actually do it. There's a lot of different ways, a lot of different tips and tactics that you can search on with LinkedIn, but I'm going to share with you some tips that, if I were looking for a job, this is what I would do. So number one is connect with people that make sense to you. So, perhaps people in your industry, perhaps people that have been co-workers, perhaps previous employers, people that are in the industry that you are familiar with, that you understand. It's always good to have with that. When you connect with people, have some kind of intro. So don't just send a connection request and say, I want to connect. Like, actually, say something meaningful, like, why do you want to connect with that person? Is there a commonality? Do you know the same person? And that often helps with starting the relationship on a good note, and also having a reason for that person to accept that connection. The next point is making sure on your LinkedIn profile that you have keywords that are important to you. So first of all, I usually suggest taking your resume and just copy and pasting that into the sections within the LinkedIn boxes. But secondly, make sure that the keywords that are important on your resume are in there. So for example, if it's we have one client who's in the elevator industry. Well, just make sure that if your experience is in the elevator industry as well, that the word elevator is on your resume. You may think, hey, I work for ABC Manufacturing Company. Anybody in that industry would know that that is an elevator company or elevator manufacturing company or something like that. But recruiters don't always know that. So make sure that that the keywords are in there properly. And think of all the keywords. And I'm not talking about organizational or Excel or anything like that. I'm talking about specifically keywords that are good for what you're doing, good for your industry, good for words that recruiters would search on. And I would say, for example, also to think of if you're a CPA, like I'm a CPA. So, one person might search on CPA for as a C.P.A. Another recruiter might search CPA with no dot. So try to put those kind of variations in your resume. If you worked at Coca-Cola, put in Coke as well as Coca-Cola, because as a recruiter, I might search Coke and not Coca-Cola. So these are small little tips that you want to be aware of. Join groups. These are easy to join. There's lots of groups out there. You can post things on groups. You can post videos as well. You can post subject matter. You can be a bit of an expert subject matter wise as well. So make sure that you join groups and post activity, post status updates. Let your network know what you're doing and really build that network. Also accept connections. You'll get connection requests all the time through the course of the day. So make sure to connect with those people. And then send relevant messages to contacts. So if you see an article about a certain industry and you know somebody's in that industry, send them a link to that article or send them a message saying, hey, I thought about you. Here's an article that I thought you might be interested in. Connect with recruiters. Recruiters are always looking to connect with more and more people. So the more that you come up on their searches, the better it is for you as well. Also, a couple more points here. Check out who has viewed your profile. So if people are going onto your profile, send them a request, send them a connection request, send them a message saying, hey, I saw you checked out my profile. Was there anything that you were looking for help with? Anything I can help you out with? And then finally, just one last tip is make sure your profile is complete. So make sure your picture is there, your experience, your titles, and so on. By the way, if you have any questions, just put them in the chat box and I'll try to get to them as I can. But yeah, just make sure your profile is complete, your titles, make sure your titles are representative of what you're actually doing as well, what your job description is. So if you're an accountant, for example, don't put senior accountant because it might come back to you. Make sure the dates are corresponding with your profile as well. I've had sometimes when people have said, when I've looked at a profile and the resume looks different from the person's profile, the dates are different. So I'm like, well, how come they're inconsistent? So just make sure those things are consistent. So one thing I'll end off this segment with is that, somebody mentioned this to me and it makes a lot of sense. Your network is your net worth. Your network is your net worth. So keep building your network because your network can be fantastic in connecting you with people, connecting you with opportunities that you might not have otherwise heard of. So in conclusion, just have a minute or two left here. Just wanted to say how TorontoJobs.ca can help you if you are looking for a job. Send us your resume to resumes@TorontoJobs.ca. Visit our site, TorontoJobs.ca. You can search and apply to positions. You can post your resume. You can get alerts. As far as social media goes, we are on all the different platforms: LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So you're welcome to join us there and follow us through. Every day at 12 o'clock, we're on Instagram Live and Facebook Live every weekday, Toronto time, 12 o'clock. So make a reminder for yourself. We are working on a webinar series, so we'll let people know when that comes up. And then also, if you are thinking you're going to get laid off, you might want to consider asking your employer for some outplacement services. It's paid by the company, by your employer, to help you get a new position, and that will help you with resume writing, interview tips, and so on. So if you need that, just go from there. And I just wanted to lastly just plug my book, Tales from the Recruiter. If you're interested in grabbing a copy, just visit talesfromtherecruiter.ca. And that's it for now. So thanks very much for joining. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. My email is mark.balaiche@torontojobs.ca. And thanks very much for joining and have a great day.